I'm Patrick. I'm an OSINT investigator working in the intellectual property space, covering both brand protection and content protection areas. So today I will speak about Telegram bots, more exactly about how to leverage Telegram bots to conduct country-specific OSINT investigations. So the story is inspired from a BBC animated series called Little Robots, which was originally released in 2003 and ended in 2005. It's pretty old. So I will cover 3 chapters and 5 sub-chapters. So first, I will give you an introduction about Telegram, what is Telegram, and Telegram ecosystem. Then I will move on to OSINT Telegram bots. Then I will cover 5 sub-chapters, which are a bit of give and take. This corresponds to personal identifiable information research. The second one is Web Study, which covers social media intelligence. The third one, Red Alert, which is about searching leaked data. The fourth one, the Bedtime Bedbot, which is about dark web monitoring. And the last one, Nut and Bolt Cracker Suite, which covers domain and IP investigations. Finally, I will end with a live demo and some takeaways and future projects. All right, so let's speak about Telegram. Telegram was born in 2013 by 2 brothers, Nikolai and Pavel Durov, in St. Petersburg, Russia. They were both shareholders in VKontakte, VK, which is a Russian social media platform, before 2013. Then they, founded Telegram and moved in Dubai, where they live, and now they manage the company from Dubai. And also there is the operations domicile is in British in a British island territory. All right, so currently Telegram has around 550 million users, and over 100 million people have downloaded the app in 2021. So Telegram is a valuable resource for investigating dark web vendors, piracy networks, counterfeit sellers, and other entities. The Telegram consists of individual users, public channels, private groups, secret chats, and bots. We are going to touch upon Telegram bots, and we are going to focus more on OSINT Telegram bots. So Telegram bots are third-party applications which are running within Telegram. They perform predefined tasks, and they can be used in a variety of purposes. You can build Telegram bots using, for example, BotFadder, which is the official Telegram bot for building bots. And of course, there are other ways to build Telegram. Just a bit of statistics about Telegram, which is growing tremendously worldwide. I have provided 2 screenshots on the right-hand side. For example, at the top, we have telegram.org, and we can see that Russia is at the top country in terms of user traffic. We have Brazil, Italy, Ukraine, Spain. We also have at the bottom telegram.me, where we can see India, Russia, Ukraine, United States, Iran. So in many places, especially those with large demography, Telegram is very important, and has started to become a very used platform. So before an OSINT investigation, I will cover three main components. So first is to identify Telegram bots. So how we identify Telegram bots for OSINT purposes, then how we vet them, and then how we deploy them. All right, so a little bit about identification of OSINT Telegram bots. We can find the Telegram bots on public Telegram channels, for example, OSINT Español, or specific Russian OSINT channels such as Competitive Intelligence News or How to Find channel. There are other social media platforms such as Twitter, Reddit, Discord, LinkedIn, where you can find Telegram bots by specific keywords. Then we have Telegram resources and tools such as telegramchannels.me, where we can specifically look for bots. We have Awesome Telegram OSINT, which is a compiler of different Telegram resources, GitHub resources, or Telegram bots, and other kind of resources for OSINT purposes. We also have botostore.com, where we can find different Telegram bots. Moving on, very important before conducting any OSINT operation is to vet Telegram bots. Here I provided a couple of indicators of how to vet and verify OSINT Telegram bots. So first, you have to look for a public channel which is attached to the Telegram bot. Then the second indicator is to look for historical digital footprint, for example, for a public domain on Google or for a GitHub repository. We can also look at the transparency of the Telegram bot channel and username. For example, if we can find the domain displayed on the Telegram bot or username or channel, then we can look across Telegram channels and private groups for reviews and feedback related to the Telegram bot. And we can also look for the number of projects developed and maintained by the creators of Telegram bots. There is another indicator, for example, to look for transparency of payment processors. So, for example, we can look for the crypto address, cryptocurrency address. We can look for credit, debit cards, and other, payment methods. And we can test, of course, Telegram bots with sock puppets for different outputs. I provided an example on the right-hand side for one Telegram bot, which is a Telegram search engine, Mother Search, which is is free and commercial Telegram bot to search for different keywords, and will display Telegram channels and private links, for example. And you can see here that we have found the user info, the user and info about the creator of the Telegram bots and other projects developed by this one. All right, very important when conducting OSINT operations is OPSEC, operation security. So on this slide, I will focus on a couple of principles which are important when conducting Telegram, OSINT. First is to use a paid VPN and different virtual machines to change the Telegram privacy and security settings. So, for example, we can set up different settings such as to block the phone number, to block the last seen and online profile photos, calls, and other specific settings. We can, of course, use sock puppet accounts also recommended is to use a burner, smartphone, disposable email and phone numbers, as well as disposable payment processors, because there are Telegram bots that require payment in order to function. Because I will show you immediately, we are going to focus on country-specific Telegram bots, and for example, in Russia, in Ukraine, in Iran, we will need to pay for some Telegram bots in order to use them and to gather data about targets. So here it comes, one important thing to consider is the jurisdiction where you operate, and to understand the country-specific landscape. So you have, different set of questions when you are doing OSINT in Russia, for example, and especially when it comes to payment, because right now, Visa and MasterCard don't work in Russia anymore, but don't worry, there are other ways to route payment to Kazakhstan or other, neighboring countries. So you have to understand the legal aspects. You have to understand the barriers of conducting OSINT in different territories. All right. There are 3 ways of using Telegram for OSINT research. So the first one is Telegram, using Telegram desktop app. The second one is using the mobile phone, and you can use an Android emulator or a wireless screen mirroring app, such as Jenny Mobile, for example, or ResView. And the third one is by using web version of Telegram. And I'm going to show you in my live demo. All right, the last aspect here to consider is Hunchly. So we need evidence. We need to capture evidence and to archive data. So we can use Hunchly on the desktop and also on mobile. All right. So why Telegram bots? Why we cannot do OSINT from browser or from GitHub? Why we need Telegram bots? Well, if we are approaching from a Western perspective, then we can find data like in open databases using simply the browser or GitHub repositories, GitHub tools, and it's much easier. But when it comes to country-specific OSINT in Iran, in Kazakhstan, in Russia, in Ukraine, or other territories, Turkey, India, we have to rely on different tools to gather data. We don't have the same level of access to data, and there is also the language barrier. So we may not speak Russian, Arabic, Persian, or other languages. All right. So you can organize, for example, Telegram bots, by country, or you can, of course, see some comparisons between different tools on the right-hand side here, where I exemplified, different comparisons between Telegram bots, which is one of them here is how to find bots in terms of OSINT workflows and resources, and other tools out there such as OSINT Framework, Maltigo, Spiderfoot, Intelligence X. And here is a comparison by the data supported by each tool. But of course, there are other comparisons out there, such as, in terms of costs, in terms of speed, in terms of output generated and quality. So we have to be aware of these, differences and or more exactly between strengths and weaknesses of each one of them. Now I'm going to focus on the specifics. So I will provide 3 examples for each subchapter. And I will start with personal identifiable research. So here you can find three kind of bots. One is Universal Search Bot, which is a free bot, which and is developed by How to Find bots from Russia. It's very comprehensive, and it provides different sets of data um, about a target. The second one is Dante's Gates bot, which is made by Quantica, a company from Spain, and the language is, of course, in Spanish, but it provides a large pool of data and automates OSINT searches, for IP addresses, phone number, persons, and usernames. This can be used. It is a commercial bot and can be used by buying different tokens for different searches. For example, for nickname, you buy a token or a couple of tokens, and you can conduct searches. And in terms of speed, is a really good one because you don't have to go to 10 pages of Google or other kind of tools to search them and scrape them. For example, you can gather data in a faster way by using this bot. The third bot is Open Data UA bot, which is a bot from Ukraine. And in this example here, I have searched for one of the former presidents of Ukraine, Viktor Yanukovych, which now is in Russia, and he's on the Interpol list. So of most wanted, of wanted persons. So I search for sanctions for court, both civil and criminal court cases, and of course you can find a lot of details there. Moving on to Stockmint, I have three examples of bots here. One is Find Me Now bot, which is a social media search engine. Very comprehensive. You can search by a username, and you can find leaked data. You can find different accounts on different social media platforms. Magre, OSINT bot, which is really known in OSINT community. It conducts username enumeration across 2,000 plus social media platforms. And lastly, Sova app bot, which is pretty similar to EPOS, developed in France, and Holhe, which conducts enumeration by email address and shows different social media accounts related to that email address. All right. I will discuss now about how to search leaked data by different Telegram bots. For example, one of them is MailLeaks bot, which finds leaked passwords by email address, and you have 3 free searches. So you can search, for example, for an email address, and will reveal different databases and also leaked passwords. But it's important, for example, to see in which the databases that email was contained, and of course you can pivot on different databases and conduct additional research. The second one is phone leaks bot, which finds in what leaks the phone number appears, which is really known in Russia. It searches over 150 leaked databases in Russia and former Soviet states. And the last one is data leaks bot. You can find the name, a phone number, password, social media mentions, and also associated locations via an email address. So these are very important bots to find additional information about your target and to pivot for finding or expanding your OSINT investigations. The best time, bad boat. So there are a couple of ways to monitor dark web, and especially now when a lot of dark web vendors moved to Telegram because it's more easier, to communicate with your dealers, with your clients, customers, and there are a lot of data leaks. There are a lot of malicious activity on Telegram. So I found two ways by which you can monitor, for example, for cyber threat intelligence, malware, or if you want to do monitoring for humanitarian crisis or counterfeit selling, you can use these two bots. So you can identify RSS feeds, for example, from Dread, dark web forum. You can forward feeds to Aximo bot, and you can monitor, for example, specific darknet markets and vendors. There is another bot for monitoring a set or a list of Telegram public channels and private groups, which is Junction bot. So you just provide a list of Telegram public channels and private groups or links, and this bot will aggregate all of them into one thread or feed. And last but not least, there are a couple of Telegram bots to conduct domain and IP investigations. I have provided here 3 of them. So one of them is WhoisBot. The second one is Universal Search Bot, which I already mentioned. And the last one is WhoisDomain bot. So you can perform Whois records for a certain domain, or to perform an IP lookup or a DNS lookup for a domain. All right. So now comes the fun part. Going to move quickly to my Ubuntu virtual machine, and I'm going to show you how you can use Telegram. Let me just pull this out here. So what I have here is I have the web version of Telegram, and I have how to find both. So by this one, which is a paid bot, you can perform different type of searches for different targets in country specific so let's look for example for a phone number, and let's suppose we need one of them in China or we need in Brazil. So this one, for example, gives you a couple of resources to search for the phone numbers in Brazil. Yes, give me a second. Then we can have a look, for example, for a username, and we have a list of OSINT resources to look up for a username. We can select here, for example, one of the bots. We can select Margaret bot, and we can see here that this is a free one, and we can go to search for a username. Let's search for a dark web vendor username. So it will take some time here. In the meantime, In the meantime, we have another one. And we can search for the same username on migrate OSINT bot. Let's see. So we have a Telegram account and we have an Instagram account here. For this one, and on the other one we have a report, and we have one account on Meter and also on Freelance Code Buy. And we can download, of course, the report from here. So you can perform OSINT investigations by using, for example, this OSINT, and this is really nice because you can organize a bunch of resources here, and you can search, for example, for company details in specific countries. For example, I'm looking now for company details in China. Go back, company name. And we have, for example, here, let me just see. We have for different details, for example, court cases, we have this qcc.com, very important resource in China for investigating a company. So this provides a really nice, a way to investigate targets. All right, and there is, of course, I have here a list of 200 or over 200 Telegram bots, which are, organized by status, free or commercial. We have notes about them. We have applicability in different countries if they are vetted, and we have also OPSEC. We can, for example, select them by applicability, and we can use them, for example, in China, in Cuba, in Iran, Kazakhstan, or different territories. This project will be released after this conference, so you can play with this list of Telegram bots. All right. There is another important thing here that I wanted to show you quickly. And this one is a Docker container, because in some investigation you will need to access data. So I will use this Docker container, which is running, for example, within my browser, my local computer. So you can see here the junction bot I've already mentioned. So to collect different data leaks, this is a really nice one to organize your data, and of course you can download this and have a look, for specific data points. So I have here, for example, over 1,000 share links, 1,000 files. So I'm collecting them from a list of databases, or a list of Telegram channels and private groups. They are here, and if you want to download them, you can download them, and within this Docker container. So it's like a sandbox, and if something is malicious, you will be protected, and you can sanitize them, and after them export them into your VM. And of course, this Docker container is really nice because there are so many things here. You can switch between containers. If you want to go to Signal, if you want to go to to Tor browser or a different browser or virtual machine, you can use it with Docker container here, which is you can search for Chasm workspaces, and this will be deleted after this. All right. So I will close this presentation with some takeaways and future projects. First of all, Telegram is a key component of country-specific OSINT investigations. Very important is to understand the Telegram OPSEC. So pay attention to what you access on Telegram. Pay attention to the privacy and security settings and other important settings. Also, one important thing is to understand the applicability of Telegram bots, to vet them, to verify them before deployment. Some future projects that I have on my list are to build specific Telegram bots for automating OSINT workflows, which are tailored to specific industries. For example, if you want to focus on brand protection or content protection, or you want to focus on cyber threat intelligence. So there are still a lot of ways to do that, and I see lots of opportunities here. So as I said, I will release the list of OSINT Telegram bots, and you can play around it and give it a try, and also provide feedback, because I want to improve the project. Yeah, thank you very much. I will open now for questions.
Awesome. So a little bit short on time for questions, but we have had one or two, which are quite interesting. So how do you specifically confirm results from the bots in the context of an investigation?
Yeah. So of course you can use at the same time Maltigo with specific transforms, and you can use Spiderfoot with specific APIs integrated. So I have already tried this with specific Telegram bots in investigations, and I've compared the outputs generated by Telegram bots and Maltigo or Spiderfoot. So in terms of specific piece of intelligence that I needed in a specific country, for example, Russia or Iran, Telegram bots are unique, so they generate specific data for these countries. In comparisons with Maltigo or Spiderfoot, which are not good for country-specific OSINT at the moment.
Awesome. And I think we had another question. One of them is where exactly will interested people be able to find a list when it is released?
I will share the list within Discord and also on my Twitter account.
Sounds good.
I will share the list within Discord and also on my Twitter account.
Sounds good.